Hi, I'm Saren.
And I'm Ray.
We're your Spider Baby hosts from To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast, as well as proud members of the collective.
You're listening to Capes and Lunatics. Gimme, gimme.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend D.G. Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Recording has started. Phil, how do you do that?
What?
You do that whole intro without moving your lips. It's quite amazing. I saw you take a drink of water at one point. It's honestly a skill to be.
I'm sitting on someone's lap. Hell.
There's Tristan's hands.
Hello,
you can see him in the upper corner. He's mad we made him sleep in the bunk tonight. He doesn't like to be in the bunk. But if he sleeps in the bunk, then he falls asleep, and we can leave him there for until the rest of us wake up. Tomorrow is his birthday.
I was going to say, it's almost his birthday.
I know, that's why we need him to sleep, because otherwise he's going to be up at 12:01 saying, "Where's my presents? Where's my presents?" 12:01, I've been born. Give me presents. That's it. Hey, cats and kittens, welcome to Superconnectivity. I'm your host, Charlie, the Professor Essa. With me, as always, is the blue-eyed bomber from the Burg of Pits.
Phil, me, and Perich, or Phil Podcast Perich. Take your pick.
Yeah, take your pick. You know, Phil, I like both names. That's the thing.
I know, me too.
I can't pick, because I love when you fill me in, because you are very knowledgeable about comic books and lore. You actually shame me very often because you know minutia. I know big picture arcs. I got the big picture. Phil's got the details. Phil knows. Well, that was this inker and that that letterer and that colorist. And I don't know that stuff. I don't know artists. I don't know writers.
That's why we're a good team.
Phil will tell me that. Well, technically, da did the cover. And D did the interior pencils. And I'm like, okay, thank you, Phil. I trust you implicitly. But that is why Phil fills us in. But he's also Phil Podcast Perich because he is the master of the podcast. He runs the Capes and Lunatics Network. Without Phil, there would be no, I was going to say Charlie Esser,
I'm not your father.
Well, no, you're not my father, but it's not like I'm going to go make a podcast of my own.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for you, I'd be sitting there saying, "So, Tristan, you know what's going on in the world of comics today?" And he'd be like, "No, Dad, I'm interested in VR now. Thank you. Thank you, I've moved on."
Why do you think I'm here? My family don't want to hear it. Come on.
Yeah. Yes. Anyway. Philip, let's talk some stuff. Let's talk the controversy, Phil. We gotta teach the controversy.
Yes.
Because there are so many controversies. And I thought I was going to be like the big fighter. Turns out Quasar fans. Quasar fans are the most incensed about the new Ms. Marvel trailer, which I did not see coming.
So
did you see? You were a Quasar fan. Did you see it coming, Phil?
No, I mean, I see what people are talking about because she had one bracelet on her hand, on her arm, and that seems to be, is that the source of her powers?
Well, that's the question.
Yeah.
We really don't know anything yet, but as happens, nerds are jumping with the speed of a Congress in disarray towards an outcome, certain that the rage will appear when they land.
I saw a theory that it's going to be Kree tech, or it's going to have some link to the Kree or Captain Marvel, and it's
okay.
And I mean, the only thing close to that was like the Nega bands, but they didn't do like the constructs and stuff. They basically made them fly and had blast. Yeah.
So there's two levels to both of these things.
Oh yeah. By the way, the Captain Marvel or the Miss Marvel trailer came out this weekend.
Yeah, I would assume they know that. If you're watching this show, you know that the Ms. Marvel trailer came out.
Never assume.
This isn't just Capes and Lunatics.
Oh,
Just randomly walking in. Where you happen to have a cape or you happen to be a lunatic. No. This is where you're coming for your super connected content.
The deep dive.
Yes. No, so the new the new Ms. Marvel TV show trailer came out. And within this is essentially, it is confirmed they will not be doing shapeshifter powers. And I get mad every time they compare it to Mr. Fantastic. Because Mr. Fantastic's stretching powers are not Ms. Marvel's impossible person powers.
Yeah.
She has complete control of her entire atomic structure and the atomic structure of anything in close contact with her. You know this because she changed her outfit. It's like, on so many levels, she is utilizing her powers to restructure herself, not unlike the great Impossible Jones over at Scout Comic, which we talked about in Capes and Lunatics. In Capes and Lunatics for you kids out there. Pick up Impossible Jones. Enjoy it. I like it. It's fun.
So you're reading that new Ms. Marvel book. Are they kind of shifting that way in the comics now too, or?
Well, that's the thing. So they've said that she doesn't have her shapeshifter powers anymore. Because they briefly, when other writers got to write her, other writers did what other writers do, which is they said, well, this is her power set. That's how it's described. Here's what she can do. And they had her do full-on Mystique shapeshifting.
Yeah.
Which she does in her first issue. And it's about her getting control of it. Now they're saying, I can't do that anymore. I can't do... And they have her doing a lot of I can'ts. Which tells me either they're looking to change her power set, or they want her to expand her power set when she finally realizes she can do MF in anything. That she is actually an Omega level hero, and she just has to break down the door. Like freaking Franklin Richards. That at a certain point you realize, oh, my superpowers are nigh infinite. Or actually truly infinite, not nigh infinite. They just are, I'm Ambush Bug if I had a pencil. And that is literally where they are. We're like, oh, okay, I got a pencil. Now I'm going to draw everything. What I wish to be existing exists. So yay me. And that could be where we're going in the books. That could be where we're going in the show. But people are a little incensed because they have the bracelets. Yes, Tristan. Yes, I'll put your glasses away.
Was there multiple or was there just one? Because I know this is the one shot I remember from the trailer. I remember seeing her touch one, but so did she have two or one?
There are two bracelets. So here's the thing with her bracelets. And they have established in the comics that the bracelets she wears are a family heirloom. Passed down from her ancestors, and which hold the secret of their extraterrestrial origin.
Oh, are they going to do the thing they did with Carol Danvers in the comics a few years ago? Are they going to give her because Carol discovered her mother was Kree, or one of her parents
going to
be Kree?
It won't be that her mother's a Kree. It's going to be like her ancient grandmother is a Kree.
Yeah, like several generations removed. Yeah,
because her mom is still her mom.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to make her mom a freaking Kree general anytime soon.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Because first off, they haven't even introduced Brown Kree yet. Or have they? I'm trying to think now. Have they introduced Brown Kree? They have Pink Kree and they have Blue Kree, but I don't know if they've ever introduced Brown Kree.
Well, again, like
they
you said,
may have. I may be overstating my knowledge here.
Well, again, if it's several generations back, one of her ancestors could have slept with, a white-skinned Kree, yeah.
Yeah, a human Kree and
a
human Kree relationship. And if the Kree was Pakistani, then those Pakistani physicalities could pass on through. But it's interesting to me in this question now, because now it is this question as an example. Although, to be fair, there was the establishment in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that the Kree could change their color from blue to a more Terran color. And so if they have that technology to alter the way they look, maybe they could alter the way they look from blue to pink or blue to brown, depending on the local Terran population.
Either that or just one of her ancestors stumbled upon those bracelets.
I mean, anything's possible. And there's this other secondary idea that these might tie into the 10 Rings.
Yeah, Shang-Chi, I did see that. Someone else had that theory, yeah.
So that these might be similar to the 10 Rings, that they actually are not Kree technology, that they predate all of that. And they're actually these remnants of a more ancient or extra-dimensional existence. Which is an interesting idea, too.
Mm-hmm.
Quite frankly.
I mean, we got Celestials now, so, I mean, it could be almost anything, you know.
Well, that's the idea, is that really whatever they want to do, they want to do.
Yeah.
But, you know, as happens, people are upset. And people are upset because it's not the full-body molecular manipulation property.
Yeah.
Which was an amazing power. Arguably, the fact that she can not only embiggen, but also ensmallen.
Mm-hmm.
That she can grow and shrink. Which I've now seen people make point of that. Like, her actual power sets were pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Like, on par with freaking Ant-Man, which people have already done a lot of videos on about how insanely OP Ant-Man is. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, all up in your stinky, Thanos. You know, that's how it ends. This is a simple power, and a power that, in comics, Ant-Man has used. Not to kill a person, but to blow up a device.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Lang Ant-Man, when he was in the Fantastic Four, went inside some device and just grew out of it and just burst out its seams to destroy the master plan of some villain or another. I don't remember. It was maybe the Krees, maybe the Skrulls, maybe the Badoon. Who knows?
So I wonder if they're changing her power set, because I know even you've said, you know, like the growing and shrinking effect is kind of hard to do. You know, it's kind of hard to make it look good on film and stuff.
It can be,
but because even with Ant-Man, he's just had movies. Miss Marvel's getting a weekly series, so
yeah,
you're gonna have to do that week after week.
It's harder to do on your budget.
I was gonna say, and they probably don't have the budget the movies do. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that this is the big thing, is that people are saying it sucks that they've taken her powers because of budget and just given her sparkly Green Lantern powers.
Yeah.
As you know, people don't like Green Lantern Phil. His powers are lame. His movie was lame. When Ryan Reynolds can't save your film, my friend, your film was bad and you should feel bad.
Well, Marvel beating them to the punch again, because supposedly HBO Max is going to have a Green Lantern series, but who knows? Yeah. They keep pushing it back.
Well, everyone keeps pushing everything back, and to be fair,
but especially DC.
Marvel just pushed back Secret Invasion again. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's weird, because they're at once announcing new things for Secret Invasion and pushing it back. So no one knows what's going on anywhere in the film world. I think the Secret Invasion is probably going to be a thing that they've decided to, rather than make a Secret Invasion a thing, all the new series are going to be weaving Secret Invasion into it. And then they might do like a 2-hour Secret Invasion movie at the end.
Yeah, maybe they're pushing it back so they could drop more Easter eggs beforehand, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And for what it's worth, that is what theoretically happened with Secret Invasion. That, you know, the person had this idea for years, had been dropping hints.
I think it was Bendis, wasn't it? In the comics, I think they said it was Bendis, but yeah.
Well, you know, that's the thing. That's the thing, is that's how he made his bones, man. You know, I mean, for real, the guy has this history.
Oh, yeah, back in the day, I mean, he created Jessica Jones. Yeah, he did Secret Invasion.
You know, but that's the thing. It's like, you hire him to do one thing. It's like, that's not his shtick. He's got to be sitting in the back room for years, planting his seeds, until he says, well, you know, I've been working on this idea for a while. Mm-hmm. And here's what I'm going to do. And then it becomes this big hit because he did the work. But if you're just going to bring him in, like so much John Byrne, halfway through the series, and tell him, well, we're going to just give you a quick reboot. But we're not going to reboot everything. Just your character gets rebooted. He's just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. I'll do my best. I'll introduce some villains. Can I get some of my friends in here to work on some characters? Because I have a lot of friends, and maybe I can get them to make some characters, and then those might be useful to you. I don't know, man. I don't do the short-term work. I do the long con.
Yeah.
You know?
And in the movies and the comics, I wonder if they're just like, too, they're like, oh, well, look how much people lost their mind at the end of Far From Home when Nick Fury turned out to be a Skrull. They're like, we could do that a couple more times.
Well, sure, you can. And that's useful, you know?
And it's like, hey.
I mean, that's the thing.
And hey, is there any continuity or any character we need to clean up? We could just make him a Skrull.
As we've said with good old Iron Fist.
Everybody on that Inhuman show.
Well, you know, and yeah, all the Inhumans.
Every one of them.
It was an entire colony of Inhumans that just, everyone was a Skrull, and they all like woke up and like, why did we like create an entire Skrull community of Inhumans and not know it? I don't think we accomplished anything with this. But you know what? But here's the thing. It actually makes perfect sense for Iron Fist, because that's why when he goes back to Kowloon, it's not there, because he doesn't know Kowloon only exists for a certain period. So they knew that there was an Iron Fist, and it was Danny Rand, and they knew all these things, but they didn't have the data to input into that Iron Fist, the Skrull Iron Fist.
Oh, yeah.
That Kowloon only exists for a few years as the dimensions overlap. So that it makes for an interesting way that Feige can sort it. And to be fair with you, as I've always said, I don't think Feige was ever not in control.
Yeah.
I think there was a lot of push and pull on it, but I think at the end, Feige has been in control for the majority of the Netflix run.
I think it was just more legal stuff than anything, you know, since Netflix had certain legal rights to it back then.
Yeah, well, they had rights to show it.
Yeah.
They didn't have rights to produce it. The production was actually handled pretty quickly when Disney basically smacked whoever the guy was running Marvel Television upside the head and said, no, Feige's in charge. Shut up. Shut up, you work for us, buddy. Tell Perlmutter to go stick his head in salt, for quite frankly. Don't mess with the mouse. The mouse will eat you. Like, this is Room 101 in 1984. The mouse is going to come up and eat you.
Oh,
okay, so I got my references. Mouse don't play, man. Mouse don't play. So that's the thing. Is I think that, and I think at the end, maybe I think that in a lot of levels, Feige was like, well, you know, anything I don't like, I'm just going to say it was a Skrull.
Exactly.
You know, which is why I think we'll get Patsy back. We'll get Kristen Ritter back. You know, we'll get everyone back. And if they bring the guy who played Iron Fist back, it will be the Iron Fist who was captured by the Skrulls. You know, and he's gonna be like, "Wait, what happened now? What's what?" And he'll have to like fight his own Skrull self, but he'll have the real Iron Fist, and he'll just punch him with the Iron Fist and just totally win him, as they say on the internets.
Charlie, could the Skrulls have captured the Fantastic Four and just never bothered to replace them?
It's possible. I mean, to be fair, the Fantastic Four did fight the Skrulls in their first outing. The
first time you see Skrulls, it's fantastic.
No, I'm sorry. There's
number
second
two.
outing.
Number two, outing. Yeah. But yeah, the first time you see Skrulls, though, it is Fantastic Four, yeah.
It would be interesting. That was like their first attempt, and they like captured the Fantastic Four, like the FF lost to the Skrulls.
Try to make us think we're cows.
Yeah, we don't want to be cows. We want to be Skrulls, and that's the big thing. And they attack, and you know,
either that or
they capture them, and they've just held them for the last few years.
Either that, or they've just been on the Skrull homeworld for the last couple of years, fighting with the rebellion or whatever.
They've been doing something.
Yeah,
I mean that is an interesting idea. The fact that would be an interesting idea that actually Reed defeats the Skrulls, then takes the fight to the Skrull homeworld to just fight them, and has basically been battling the Skrulls, and maybe formed alliances with the Kree without realizing that the Kree were Nazis. You know, it's like, well, now we're in a whole pickle, aren't we?
Or there's two factions of Skrulls, and they're fighting with one, you know, the quote unquote good Skrulls against the, you know.
And to be fair, that's the thing. I am not convinced Fury was on that Skrull battle station willingly. He was in too much of a Tahiti situation to make me think that he was there by choice. So, whatever we wind up doing with all this, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of questions. And we don't have much to go on. We have a couple of things. Here's what we have. We have a trailer for Ms. Marvel, in which we see she has cosmic energy powers, which says it feels cosmic, which a lot of people felt was very, not the word derivative, but bland. It didn't have thrust to it, but at the same time,
she's a teenage girl.
Well, at the same time, it's a teenage girl, and it's a trailer. By the time we actually see the series, she may say, it feels inhuman. It's like, we could get a whole bag of hammers coming out of this by the end of it. We don't have to assume a one-for-one evidence based on what we've seen, because it's Marvel and it's a trailer and they want us to watch it. And they're going to subterfuge some things and highlight others based on what they want us to think going in. So in this moment, the fact that she said it feels cosmic instead of it feels inhuman may be a big, important point that we're going to see later when the show comes out.
Yeah, and I wonder, too, it's like, like I said, Negabands were never able to make constructs, but if there are some version of the Negabands, maybe she can fly, or I think they boosted Marvel's strength, too. That might give her, a strength boost, too.
Well, the fact that they can make the Negabands do anything.
Yeah. But no, I just wonder if they're going that route, because that way they can, make her kind of like a combo of, Carol Danvers and our other Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing that if they are the Negabands, and they are tied to the Negaverse, the antimatter universe,
Negative Zone, yeah.
Where is another place that the Fantastic Four might have been for the last 30 years,
Yep.
Fighting, keeping freaking Annihilus at bay for the last, decade, just keeping Earth safe.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden Ms. Marvel shows, and so it would be amazing if at the end of it, you get, freaking the Fantastic Four stepping out of a portal saying, oh, hello, Ms. Khan, I'm Reed Richards. It's a pleasure to meet you. Yes, we've been stuck in the negative zone for a while. We seem to have dealt with Annihilus pretty well at this point, though we do need to be on our watch for him. But thank you for getting us out of that nonsense. Who knows what's going to happen? Yeah, so I have to remember we're getting freaking Ms. America coming up soon.
Oh, yeah.
America
Chavez. Yeah, and Doctor Strange, yeah.
Punching holes through various realities, even to cartoon realities. So, give me a Spider-Ham. If we're going to be all friends, we're going to say Spider-Ham or maybe even a Beyonder.
They're pushing that. He's coming back when Defenders comes back in the comics, so.
Yeah, because he was a B. Yes, that's why There are a few. But I believe the actual Spider-Ham universe is called the Larval universe, I believe. The Larval. They call it the Larval. Yeah, like a larva. I don't know why they call it that. But
it sounds like Marvel.
I guess so. I don't know. Oh, Larval Comics. Ha! That makes sense. You know what, fella? I never put that together until just a moment. And so I would imagine that Larval Comics is a real thing in that universe. That would be amazing if Larval... Now I want to go back and read all the Spider-Hams that are available on Marvel... what is it? What is that app I have where I spend $10 a month to read every Marvel comic that they want me to?
Oh, Marvel Unlimited?
Marvel Unlimited. I gotta go see if it ever mentioned Larval Comics. Which would make so much sense now! What's your question, Tristan? Yes, although actually in the Marvel Universe, Marvel Comics are also comics, but yes.
Steve Rogers even drew some.
Well, they're slightly different. So, for example, the Spider-Man comics in the Marvel Universe don't tell you who Peter Parker is, because that would be very bad. But they acknowledge the existence of Peter Parker as a superhero, and then they retell his adventures via graphic fiction. And the way to think about it more is like investigative reporting about true crime
Just the facts.
within the magazine format. There's actually a very real in-comics explanation for that, which is the fact that Peter Parker has lousy photos of Spider-Man. They're just the only photos of Spider-Man that anyone happens to get. Yes, because Spider-Man moves very fast, and at the time of writing, cameras weren't that good, and because he knew where he was going to be, he could set up his camera equipment to film where he was at the time, to get photos of himself fighting various villains.
I mean, Jonah knows now, but I mean, and back during the Clone Saga, like Ben Reilly showed up, while he was Spider-Man. Him and Peter, he swings into the bugle while Peter's there, and like Jonah and Robbie are just like, and like Peter's like, "What? You never seen me and my best friend Spider-Man before?"
Waka waka.
So they've seen Peter and Spider-Man in the same.
And to be fair, Daredevil did it once too. So.
Mm-hmm.
And while it's fine they didn't do that in No Way Home, it would have been nice.
Oh yeah, and vice versa too. Peter's done it for Matt Murdock too, because I think there was a story in the early 2000s where Matt Murdock was supposed to have Daredevil in court, so yeah, he just had Peter put the suit on.
Which shows the entire problem of superheroes.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like none of this makes any sense. Why is this allowed?
Oh, I think Foggy even said it's like you could get this part right.
Well, yeah, all of this is supporting of perjury, and it's basically, honestly, this is how supervillains become supervillains. You know, because it's this idea. Well, what if they can't prove we lied? We didn't lie. I mean, I guess it's like, it's a very fragile technicality where it's like, I, Matt Murdock, Daredevil, will tell you what to say as Daredevil. I will tell you. I know you will speak for me, and it's honestly, this is why, quite frankly, vigilante superheroism is not a good idea. But getting back to the Ms. Marvel trailer, this is why those trucks we see, the task forces we see, we should anticipate those are going to have a Cradle logo on them. That is the plot line they're going to be exploring. Is if we get an influx of superhumans, which it seems we will be, because it does seem that that in addition to the Sputtered Man, who is, we already know, a New York City-based superhero, and perhaps all of our friends up in Harlem, down in Soho, etc., who are also superheroing around. And then we're going to say that there is these young people, like Kamala Khan and her friend with the daggers, who is the handsome boy, as I am told, are superheroing it up, that a Cradle-like organization is going to arise in this to deal with superhuman teens acting out. This may be even how they start to introduce mutants. Because there are going to be random superhuman teens showing up that are going to be a problem for the powers that be in the Marvel Universe. So I think that so much in Ms. Marvel is going to open up what comes next in the next phase, which is why they're freaking taking her from the Disney Plus series to the freaking Marvels. Because they're building it around this little brown girl from Jersey City. Because that's marketing, the most powerful force in the universe, Phil.
Exactly.
You want to talk some comics?
Yeah, I was.
We got a couple.
I was going to say, I'm very curious on your thoughts on Reckoning, Trial of the Watcher.
Best book ever. Best book ever because of how annoyed Uatu's dad is at him. Like just any dad, he's just constantly, and what is his name? It's like Lokar or something, or he's like, but Dad, don't you understand? I had to do what I had to do. And he's like, no, maybe you didn't. Did you ever look at what would have happened?
He's like, yeah, the one
if you didn't do that.
The one reality you never looked at. Yep.
Although to be fair, and this is an interesting thing in here. It's like, well, that's one reality he didn't look at. How many other realities did it go horribly, horribly awry?
Yeah.
there's a billion upon a billion different realities, and his dad's just picking the one where it worked out.
And again, the Fantastic Four didn't come out of this unscathed either, too.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. This is the thing of it, and we do get him. They put him in the little Clockwork Orange chair.
Yeah.
Because even though they're omnipotent beings from the future, still we need some body horror. Put him in the Clockwork Orange chair. Don't let him close his eyelids. And I love the fact that they went to some really great, I don't want to call it Kirby-esque art, but just definitely art that looks like it is like 80 years out of date.
Oh yeah, definitely inspired by Kirby. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely has that feel, and I like it. It is wonderful, and we do see basically, but like my favorite line in this is, Icor is Owatu's dad's name, where he says, "I do, yet even you, Icor, must acknowledge that this encounter has left the Fantastic Four of this reality irreparably damaged and ill-equipped to deal with future challenges. Is that so? Mm-hmm. If only there were a way we could continue watching. Wait, there is! Apex, show us!" Which is basically like, wow, if only we could continue to watch this episode and see where it goes. Oh, wait, that's literally what we do, Watu. Here's what they do. They unite all mankind, they build the things, they do the things, yada yada. And they said, now you gotta watch forever how this universe just turned out great because you didn't do your stupid thing. Meanwhile, we see that basic, and I love this. This is the best part of this entire episode, is you have the other Watchers that, maybe Watcher's got a point. Because they know that Icor just cherry-picked a universe where it turned out great that Uatu did nothing. Because there's a billion upon a billion infinite universes where it all happened.
Yep.
And they even make the joke here. It's like, I know what you're doing. You don't think we know your browser history, dude? I check that stuff. I know you're constantly looking at the alternate universes, man. Like a weird little perv you are, Uatu. I love you. You're my son, Uatu. But quite frankly, you're an embarrassment to the entire race of Watchers.
Oh, my.
But we see the other Watchers saying, hey, I got to trust that someone else is going to pick up the slack. At which point, Nick Fury says, oh, guess that's my cue. Which I adore. So, I'm loving Reckoning War. Reckoning War is... So here's what I'm going to tell you, my friend. Over at DC right now, they've got something happening. I don't know what. They threw several things across a Suicide Squad book. I guess hoping it was going to have a lot of interest because of cross-promotion from the TV shows. I don't know.
Well, they have several events right now. There's that War for Earth 3.
Yeah,
and then
I'm assuming it's all going to tie back together, but there's I don't know, man. I'm just really lost over there.
And then there's
I know. Yeah. Because it's Reckoning War. Between this and Avengers, I know, oh goodness, these are the two major threats affecting the universe right now. Avengers are dealing with one, FF and others are dealing with this one, and meanwhile there's going to be a third one that's going to be dealt with the X-Men and the Eternals, which we'll deal with as well. And it's ordered and it's structured, and I appreciate that, even while it is also chaos and nonsense happening. And again, over in whatever's going on with all of this with DC, I don't know why I'm randomly picking up a Flash book that doesn't have Ambush Bug in it, when the entire reason I'm buying these books is for Ambush Bug. So, okay, thank you for playing. But anyway, let's talk Avengers.
Yeah, 54.
54. Now, you have the Avengers Forever. I have not been reading the Avengers Forever yet. I feel I need to get that all in trade because I think I'm missing a lot of details.
Yeah, I mean, it's Robbie Reyes traveling the multi. Well, he was in the multiverse, but he was captured by the Black Skull, and the Black Skull was torturing him and stuff, and he was rescued. There's a multiversal Avengers, and he was rescued by their Ant-Man, who, in some reality, that Ant-Man is Tony Stark.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
I like Echo and Thor dealing with Dark Phoenix. Unlike Raven, if she turned evil.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, they're not dealing with the relationship between Phoenix and Gaia.
Yeah.
And that, because to be fair, Philip, we met Dark Gaia. Do you remember where we met Dark Gaia, Philip?
No, not offhand.
Hickman's Run of Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Or was it Hickman? Was that Hickman?
I think so.
That was the guy who did the Old Man Logan series.
No,
that was not
no.
Hickman. That was the other guy, the guy just before Hickman. Is that Hitch? That's why I don't remember writers. They do great stories. No,
Millar?
he does a lot of stuff. What? I'm sorry?
Millar? Mark Millar?
Mark Millar. In Mark Millar's Fantastic Four. Because that's where we get a lot of the stuff that Hickman then built. Which is why, I love Millar's original works. I'm not as big a fan of his works within a universal construct, but I adore Hickman's ability to build off of something that was not the best when he builds from it. Because Hickman did not deny a second of Millar's work. Millar made his stories; those are all canon. He was cool with that. Now he's going to tell you, and here's what happened next.
Oh, yeah.
Much like Icor dealing with his rotten kid Uatu, who's always looking for the easy way out. Because he didn't want to take a freaking oath. Man, wants to get involved.
Well, yeah, that's the best stories when these guys can say, okay, I'm going to use what came before and add to it, yeah.
Yeah, and so, but Millar established the idea that after the Earth had been essentially ravaged by pollution, and humanity went back in time as refugees, the Earth basically got mad and said, "How dare you abandon me?" And that's when she took the powers from Old Man Logan, because she said, "Your power of regeneration is from me. I am Gaia. I am life, and you are my avatar on Earth, Wolverine." Which is just such a great level up for Wolverine, and to say that. And in this idea of the Dark Phoenix and the Dark Gaia, that Phoenix and Gaia are actually the same person, just whether or not she's having a bad day that week. And it's just sometimes I'm love and rebirth and life, and sometimes I'm just F you all, you rotten kids, I'm sick of you. I love the dinosaurs a lot, but quite frankly, they had to go. Because they were an evolutionary dead end, and they weren't doing what I needed them to do, and I can't be dealing with all you Tyrannosaurus Rexes eating everybody all the time. For reals. So, the idea of Gaia and the Phoenix being bound, it's clearly what they're building towards. Because even as, I am the son of Gaia, and this, it's and of course, throughout the whole thing, Phoenix is just mocking him, oh, you're just the son of Gaia. You don't even know who your mom is. Because your mom is not just one person, dude. Your mom is a cosmic entity, the force of life and the force of death and rebirth. Because one does not exist without the other. You don't just to get to be the source of all life. You also have to be the source of all death. Because that is balance. And when we fall one way or the other, it causes problems. But if you can find the road between, young Skywalker, that's where you can find some balance. And the best part of this is, freaking that dropout Doom.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody likes you, Doom.
Munching on
talking smack to Mephisto.
Munching on some
Watcher
Watcher Eye.
I did this, and don't you threaten me, demon. It's dude, clearly you are threatened, because you wouldn't be making a deal with Mephisto if you thought you could win. Let's just be clear. Let's just be clear here, Doom. You are a transitory temporal being. It's not like you're the supreme octopus here, okay? And even he has his bad days.
Even Mephisto kind of says, it's Doom. He's gonna try to steal some power, try to turn this to his advantage somehow.
Well, exactly. And it's just he's nonsensical.
Yeah.
But anyway, Mephisto basically deals with Doom, and because obviously Mephisto has his council of Mephistos, and I'm just waiting for the larval universe Mephisto to be the problem child in that universe. Same way that kangaroo was the problem in the Council of Kangs that eventually led to everyone's undoing.
Oh my god, I saw someone online, I guess in that, I don't know if I missed it, in that Miss Marvel trailer, there's a teenage girl with like horns over her head, and they're like, Mephisto confirmed.
Yeah, not really, but
No.
that is actually the delightful, I forget her character's name, but she comes out as a lesbian at a later point, which makes her boyfriend very upset.
Oh.
He eventually kind of goes off the rails, kind of goes into an incel group, and he eventually joins Cradle. It gets messed up, let me tell you.
I was gonna say, I'm sure it wasn't Mephisto, but I just found that humorous. Can you imagine if they just cast Mephisto as like a teenage girl?
Well, no, it would be appropriate. It would be appropriate, and who knows? They don't have to follow the comics.
And two, I mean, Mephisto can change his form. Every movie, he or she can look like it's something different every movie or show.
As can Death, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I love about Death. Like, one of the things I liked about a recent episode of, what was it, The Thing book? They had, like, the different faces of Death, and one of them was a dude with a Hawaiian shirt, which I think was a character we had met, but part of me just wanted that to be the freaking ad salesman from Iowa.
Yeah.
You know, just acknowledging that reality. I got one last book this week, Philip.
Okay.
That's The Marvels. Sing Kong's having a lot of trouble. Dr. Strong is fighting Iron Man. It is a lot of work to rework everything of the classic gold or Silver Age Marvel into a fixed point in time. They do a good job of it, though.
Mm-hmm.
And it ends up with, you know, at the end of the day, they're opening the doors. Now, what's interesting is when Lady Lotus tried to open the doors, the magic was purple and dark. When the heroes open the doors, it's bright and golden. So, obviously, the doors open to another source, but it probably opens based on what your soul is calling for. Are you heroes calling for justice? Or are you a villain calling for power? So, I love The Marvels. It's a really great book. Love that cover art. And it ties everything up nicely within actual human history for the next 3 decades. Well, 2 decades. Honestly, it's probably almost outdated by this point. To be completely, it's almost... You know, when you think about the idea that comic books are written for teenagers, and most teenagers were born in this millennia, but they also think of most of the past as just sort of a melange of war and foolishness. It kind of makes sense. I do wonder how it's going to evolve in time, though. Okay. Anyway, that's my last book, Phil. You have anything else you want to talk about tonight?
No, I'm good. All I was going to say is I saw the ad. It reminded me I saw the ad in the Avengers book. I'm looking forward to both Captain America books coming out soon.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have 2 Captain America.
Yeah, Steve and Sam. Yeah, because I saw, I forget who they said it was, but the writer for this Steve book was saying, you know, Steve's going to go on a journey to find out who Steve Rogers is now that he doesn't have to be Captain America 24/7, you know.
Well, yeah, and also there's an issue with his shield. Apparently his shield was created under unscrupulous circumstances. I mean, we know he got the vibranium legitimately, because they've retconned that, but we get the idea that, you know, maybe other Hydra forces were at play. So we're going to see what happens there. So that's exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Philip, tell people how they can give us money.
Gimme. All right, yeah, so, all right, well, nothing else. We love feedback. Send us feedback, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And again, follow all of our shows on social media, including Superconnectivity. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. But yes, money, most importantly, again, we're paying for this out of our own pocket. So if you can, please subscribe to the Patreon. $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews, Chichester chats, and only on Patreon, the superhero movie brackets, where we will find the worst superhero movie of all time, or pick yourself up from the Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merchandise. All of it is at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics.
Real aluminum on that mug.
Yes.
And, of course, you can always write to me in the old-fashioned email way. The way our mothers and fathers once did at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And, of course, follow me on the Twitters, not on the Facebooks. Well, you can follow me on Facebook as well. Follow me on the Twitters at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz. All right, friends. And thank you, Tristan. That has been another week of connecting with us. Please come back again next week and super connect with us again. Good night.
Good night. I'm an hour and a half early, but happy birthday, Tristan Esser.
Yes. Happy birthday, Tristan Esser from Philip. Oh, he got his super honor roll medal.
Nice.
Yes, well, that's good. So, he's doing well. This is the first time he got the award.
Oh,
So
good.
he's very proud.
Very good.
You want to put it on oh. Okay, there we go. Tristan, super honor.
Oh, nice.
Hello, I'm Anthony,
And I'm Dr. Issues.
and we're hosts of Capes on the Couch, the podcast where comics get counseling.
Superheroes don't always get to go home happy. That's where we come in.
We offer psychiatric and mental health analysis of comic book characters.
So check us out at capesonthecouch.live and across all social media platforms at Capes on the Couch.